Hey guys, listen, part of Vlogmas, I'm gonna do a one disc round with a disc that I normally only throw backhand, and this is part of the learning series of just doing something that you normally wouldn't do. So if you, for instance, if you throw all four hands with overstable discs, I would recommend playing a one disc round with an understable disc. And so today I'm gonna bring out my flippy Valkyrie and I'm just gonna play four hands with it. Now I could have brought a putter along to help me out, but it's Christmas time, so it's a time for everybody to be miserable. So let's go out there and I'm gonna play this, bring you around. Let's go have some fun and maybe learn a few things right after the intro. So I'm gonna try something new. So this is gonna be ugly. So you get to witness ugliness.
Putting that on video? Is the camera on?
Camera's on. Oh, this is gonna hurt because I didn't stretch at all.
Look pretty good there, buddy. You're not getting a lot of sympathy with that.
Even a blind squirrel, you know what I'm saying?
You're not getting a lot of sympathy with that.
Well, but I'm also a show-off, you know. When there's a crowd, I gotta pretend like I know what I'm doing.
You did good.
All right, I'll get out of your way real quick. All right, well, that was ridiculous. I had a really good throw there. Now for the, I got the guys waiting for me, so I was trying to get out of the way. Thanks, guys. Thing about putting with the Valkyrie is you gotta have a little more touch than I just did. Okay, so I gave a quick blurb, but what I'm trying to do is, you'll find in your bag, you have certain go-to discs for certain shots. And I need to work on my forehand, especially touch flip shots. And I never use my Valkyrie. It is my flippy hyzer flip disc, and I only throw it on backhand. So I need to get out and be uncomfortable and learn how to throw more touch, more flippy forehands than I have been. So the best way to do that is to play a one disc round. My buddy Zach has been throwing a lot of understable stuff with his forehand, and he hasn't been throwing any overstable. So this is what kind of inspired it. I said, well, here, let's give you a Firebird, a Fireball, a couple of these, and just play with these. And so he started playing one disc rounds with actually my Glow Insanity from back a couple years ago that's almost like a Firebird. And he's starting to figure out how to throw that forehand with overstable stuff. So whatever you learn, you tend to stay in that slot. So doing a one disc round with a disc that is opposite of what you normally want to do is a great way to keep the mind going and not get in a rut. We always want to be learners. And I should have waited till I climbed the hill before I started doing this because I can barely breathe right now. Okay, let's throw the next shot. Whew. So I'm playing through the A basket here. So this one, I'm gonna have to hyzer flip this one the opposite direction. Where a lot of times I'm letting it draw across, this one's gonna have to hyzer flip. Why? So I put out brooms on the course on every tee pad. Now they're cheap because, let's face it, this is what happens. You put out nice brooms, they steal them. You put out cheap brooms and they break them. Guys, don't mess up, don't destroy stuff. And I know it's probably young punks, probably the same guys who stole our signs, but God, that's annoying. All right, so I'm gonna really have to crank this over. I just can't bring my body to do it, and I just yanked across. All right, let's go find it because I didn't even pay attention where it went. Let's face it, a lot of our disc golf game is relying on muscle memory, and that can be both good and bad. We want to rely on the muscle memory for the good stuff. We want to drill those in, but we don't want to only rely on that so that we can't make shots that aren't our normal shots. When we have to scramble, when we have to do a different type of shot, we need to practice that so that our muscle memory doesn't take over. For instance, it made me want to pull left because I'm so used to that kind of throw. Hope that makes sense. Now, the perfect approach shot disc is the Valkyrie. Trying to drop it at that tree. I think I'm okay. Oh, that's always scary. Oh my gosh. It picked up and rolled all the way down here. Ooh, that's so wrong. It came right here. All right. Wow. I hope you got that. That was awesome. Nice kick out. I mean, it just slapped it back out of the basket. We will not be keeping score on this. And let's face it, score is not the goal here. It's to work on your shots, to build your comfortability, to be more comfortable with a wider range of shots. Yeah, I think you need to try to learn and be comfortable with every shot in the book if you can. So, you know, I've got a short amount of time, to film a video, but also because of the light. So this is a wonderful time to take an hour out, run out, play a quick thing, and learn while you're doing it. So anyway, that's where I'm at with this. This is gonna work great for the forehand if I throw it right, because I need to pull it back to the right. Uh-oh. Looks like you danced off the line and you didn't get to see it. So I shanked it. It was turned into a roller, hit a tree, and kicked right back out to the other basket, I think. So I'm glad you couldn't see it. Now this shot is some of why I want to do this, because I want to become more comfortable throwing a shot that's going to drag around. Instead of throwing overstable and cutting or dropping this way, I want to throw this and let it pull back, basically turn to the left. My brain doesn't want to think about that for a forehand when any distance goes beyond about 150 feet. It's looking good to that tree. Gotta learn, gotta learn. I like the throw though. The other side of this is one of the reasons why I love doing one disc rounds is it just adds challenge. I've played 1,000,000 rounds out here. Not that many, but I've played a lot. So you gotta keep challenging yourself so you're excited about coming out here. If I just went, oh, I'm gonna go play another round, it could start to get a little old. Well, usually not because it's disc golf, but you know, you wanna keep that spark, that enthusiasm to come out here and play. This thing's so deep in here, I can't get you back in here. Here we go. So I'm gonna have to release here. Flipped up, yep, and held it. Okay, another great point. And I've got a little quick video talking about this, probably before this one, so you may go back and check it out. But because I didn't give it as much distance and speed, it didn't flip up as much as I was expecting. So therefore, it stayed more on hyzer than the end result of what I was thinking would happen. So it also helps to know how much speed will cause a disc to be flippy or not. So I just didn't give it enough speed to engage the full flip, and therefore it ended up to the right of the basket. But good news, I've had food and some chocolate, so I'm a little hyper, but in a good way. And it's Christmas time, so I got a lot of work to do. So I'm trying to get these videos in when I can. So I'm kind of in the go stage, but it's a good go stage. You know, if you saw my hangry edition over at the Cloudland Canyon, I'm on the opposite side of that, where I'm kind of like, yeah, it won't last. Give me a couple holes and I'll get grumpy again. All right, so now here's the same thing. I need it to go right, but I've got it going downhill, so it's going to speed up, so it's going to carry it over more. But you've got a headwind, which will flip it up more, so I got to really figure out that angle. Actually, because it's going to flip up, I'm going to come out here. I think that's the angle. Nope, flipped up. It actually worked out okay, but because of the speed, it flipped up and held. It never had a chance to fight back at the end because it was going downhill and holding that speed, so it was holding the turn longer. Wasn't bad, I just needed a couple degrees lower to fight back to the right. All right, I'm figuring it out. Who knew? Valkyrie. It's what's for putting today. And yes, I'm still mad about the first hole on that putt. Okay, so we're far enough along in the video for the people that jumped in for a little bit and have clicked out aren't gonna see this. But so, I don't think I've worn this shirt before, but I've got a shirt on here that I like. that's got a random, it's got a logo on here. And here's the question for you in the comments. What shirt am I wearing? Can you figure out what the shirt is? I want to see if anybody can guess it. There won't be any prizes or anything because I suck at trying to figure all that stuff out, but you'll get eternal honor and glory for figuring out. First one in the comments, I may give a shout out to. Speaking of shout outs, hey, I got to throw this one out there. This morning is the first day of Vlogmas, and I already got some great responses, just some encouraging stuff. And one of my favorites today was from Robert Hawkins 6737, and he says, "Good morning, Pete. Robert here up in British Canada. I really enjoy your stuff. I don't have any genius brainwave alerts," I can't say that, "on what to include or any unexplored directions to take. I would only reiterate what you've said here to continue being you." I'm going to try to continue to be me. Thank you, Robert. I can't keep a thought long enough to be somebody else most of the time. "Your forehand putts irritate me to distraction, but that's based on jealousy, not criticism." Thank you so much. But this is what got me. I mean, I was laughing this morning, and I shared it with several people. "I discovered disc golf at age 68, and I'm now 72. So kids like you inspire me." Robert, you just inspired me. You made my day this morning for that comment alone. Thank you so much, brother, and I hope one day we run into each other. But thank you for that. Guys, I really do try to read every comment. I try to respond to every comment. It does make such a difference. It's really encouraging, especially when you hear folks that are getting into this game and trying to figure it out. I'm not the greatest coach, but hopefully I'm here to encourage you. We'll have a little fun and maybe inspire you to throw a flick putt every once in a while. So, all right, now we're going up for the hill up there. This may be the perfect shot to bring this around, but the problem is if I miss it, it's hitting the hill and we're gonna roll down to almost 10 basket here. I need to put it there, let it drag across. Oh, so nose up matters on forehands as well. That way, I thought I had the perfect line, but I got the nose tilted up just enough so it was coming around and then it just faded out. I needed it to be a tick down like this so it would keep coming around and it was diving right at the basket. Poop. All right, lovely, lovely shot. Just what I want to do with the old Valkyrie. Oh. The other thing to remember is all these rounds, whether you're doing one disc rounds, full rounds, or whatever, the knowledge base is building up. So I can throw and putt with the Valkyrie because I've putted with so many other discs and I've putted so many other forehands. So it's not like I'm starting from zero with the Valkyrie. I hope that makes sense. That's why these pros can switch bags from one company to the next and generally keep the same level of play. There's a little of adjustment because you're not as comfortable with it, but experience builds on experience. And so you're never wasting time, even out having fun, doing stupid things like one disc rounds, because you're building your knowledge base and your skill base, even if it feels like you're just banging into trees. And I gotta stop talking while walking up hills. That's just dumb. All right, this should be interesting. Yep. I thought I'd turfed it a little bit. Fortunately, we've got a downhill shot, so it gave me enough airspace to get over the hill before it dropped down. But I'll tell you this, I like that shot. That was a comfortable shot. Boy, if I did that with a flippy mid, yeah, or even I don't know about a flippy putter, we'll see, but it was a nice, calm, just forehand flick. Something I wouldn't try unless I did a stupid thing like this, you know, but I like that shot. Another thing to think of is if you're gonna play, let's say you're wanting to work on a certain shot, maybe study the pros that throw that shot well. My inspiration for some of this is thinking about Jeremy Colling and how he can just direct disc through the woods with his forehand. And I'd like to be able to be more comfortable doing that for my forehands. So I watch some of his stuff, you know, get inspired, especially with these cold, wet, dark days. Use it as a time to learn and build up extra knowledge for when the seasons get a little bit better. All right, I should just be able to throw this almost straight. Get under it. Holy cow. I hope you saw that. I mean, it was dead on line. It never even moved. It just lifted above it and just cruised right over the top of it. Huh. Awesome. No, it's too tight. Okay. That would have been spectacular, but y'all probably would have accused me of faking that one. Ooh, that would have been nice. I'm not mad. I was about to say right before I throw it, I said, this is really just kind of a layup because I was just throwing it at the basket. All right, just got to pop this up here. Pretty good. What's funny is I'm getting the feel for it a little bit. This is encouraging. It doesn't feel as foreign as it did when I started. Now, granted, I'd have to do this multiple rounds to really feel comfortable, but it's a start. Guys, understanding how to maneuver and shape shots with the disc you have at hand is so key. You should be able to bring any disc out and work it on a lot of different angles if you understand how discs fly. And if you haven't, I would go back and look at my flight number cheat code video, and I got a couple follow-ups of that about understanding the stability of the disc and how to overcome it or change the shots due to that. By the way, these putts are so much easier to make when it's just me in the video. It's not a tournament, the pressure isn't on, I'm relaxed. So there's some of that to it. Now, granted, I'm putting crazy well with the Valkyrie after I started out a little rocky, but yeah, I'm not mad. You know, I said we weren't gonna keep score, and then in my head I'm starting to think, maybe I should keep score. You know, the hubris of man. Our hearts definitely need help. So now if I get this wrong, it's down the hill. We got a crosswind, so it's gonna wanna sit on it, because I gotta put this, think of it like a sail. I gotta put it here. It's not gonna wanna let it ride as much, but it's just gonna wanna push it that way. To be honest, I chickened out and threw it a little low. It'll be okay, but yeah, that was less than mighty. Now, of course, I'm thinking I killed myself by talking about my good shots right before this. Do you do that? You play those mental games? I shouldn't have said anything because that's going to mess up this putt. That one grabbed it. That was grace right there because that wasn't a good putt, and those outside chains grabbed it. The downside to playing fast is you run into people. As far as run into folks playing normal speed, you just keep bumping into them. Those guys were finishing up that hole when I passed them after 11. So I played 4, and the time they played 1. Just kind of how it goes. Oh, I do not want to lose my... This one's what scares me, because if I mess up, it's gone. Headwind coming up the hill. Oh, this is bad. This is a recipe for death. I'm going to miss more to the left on purpose. Yeah, I totally played that safe to get up on the hill so I didn't ricochet and go down in the water, because I like that minion disc too much. Huh. So this is a layup, guys, because tree death. Didn't want anything to do with that putt right there. The water's cold. Giant snapping turtle. The hopes and dreams of many disc golfers all reside in there. All right, I'm just gonna try to throw this flat at that tree with the white band that is the bane of my existence. I think I created that band. I've hit that tree so much. Yep. So see, I threw that nice and soft so it wouldn't hyzer flip. It just went straight, and then as the slow speed fade kicked in, it just broke back to the right. I actually did a thing. I did a thing. And you're like, Pete, when would you ever need to do that? Well, first of all, I didn't have to give it a lot of power. Let's say I'm caught in some bushes or something, I don't have a big swing. That fighting that flip, while it's doing that, it's pushing forward. So you actually get more distance with a shot like that. And so there's a lot of times when you just want the disc to push instead of immediately start crashing. So yeah, there you go. Now I got to find it in the leaves. Isn't it funny how certain discs will talk to you? It's like, it's a good friend. I know I can trust it. And I don't know how to explain it, but me and this guy, we're pals. And so I feel comfortable. And that's, I missed that tree completely. And I'm getting out of these guys' ways. Way? And I just, all right, there you go. Clear, guys. Well, there you go. I just hit my monopod trying to putt real quick and broke my case for my gimbal. So, yeah, there's another expense to add to the old account for disc golf. Yes. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for coming along. I'll pare this down, but thought this would be a fun thing to do on a Sunday in Vlogmas. Get out there, play a quick round, have some fun, run into some people, and bring you along with me. Thank you so much for coming along, and I hope my gimbal's not broken. Crap. I hope to see you out on the course. I'm gonna go cry now.